It's okay if he hangs out here?
Absolutely.
Okay, here, dude, sit. Okay, shh.
Thanks for meeting with me today. So, as I said in our phone call, I wanted to meet with you and see how the housing search is going. What's been happening the last few days?
Well, I've looked at 6 apartments, and I've been rejected from each one.
That's frustrating. Have the landlords given you any indication why?
No. I mean, I call them to follow up, and they just brush me off.
Well, I had an opportunity to talk with Larry about your walkthrough. Would you be interested to hear his feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that one went pretty well, but I've called and I've left several messages, and he doesn't return them. I mean, that's pretty rude if you ask me.
So he did mention a few things. He said you were on time to your walkthrough, which is good. He also said that you clearly care about your son.
He said that?
Yes, landlords do pay attention to that kind of thing. He also mentioned that you seemed a little stressed out about your relationship with Michael's mother.
Yeah, I had just picked Michael up from his mom's house. Since we split, she has been really hard to deal with. Like, she's on my case about everything. Like, I want to sleep in my car or crash at my sister's house when I've got Michael. I mean, really, like, cut me some slack.
I know it's been challenging. You're doing everything you can for you and Michael.
Yeah. It's tough.
You have a lot going on. And it sounds like finding housing is priority number 1.
Absolutely. I need a place like yesterday, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what might you do differently at the next place?
I mean, it sounds like I just gotta leave my problems at the door, you know? Like, focus on getting my stuff together for my son.
That sounds like a great idea. What do you think about focusing on the positive when talking with a landlord?
What do you mean?
For example, you could say something you liked about the apartment. Do you remember what you said about this one?
I think that was a place that seemed expensive for how small it was. I might have said it was overpriced.
Did you notice how the landlord reacted?
Not really. I was pretty distracted with Michael.
I got the sense from my conversation with Larry that he was offended by your comment.
Really?
Showing interest and focusing on what you like about the place rather than what you don't like can make a better impression. Can you remember anything you liked about the apartment?
I liked the kitchen, and I really liked that it was so close to a park for Michael.
Those are great examples. You can start out with something similar at the next place.
Okay.
Dad, are we done yet?
No, dude, here. Play some games on this.
I'm wondering, do you think it would be easier for you to stay focused while talking to a landlord if you weren't also caring for your son?
Sure. I mean, I guess. I mean, what can I do? When I've got Michael, I've got Michael.
I understand. Do you think maybe your sister could watch him for a bit while you're touring apartments?
Maybe. I mean, I can ask.
I think talking with a landlord alone might make it easier to have those honest conversations you'll need while renting a place. Which leads me to my final issue we need to discuss. Do you remember the conversation about needing a background check and talking to your previous landlord?
Yeah, I wanted to warn him about my jerk of a landlord. If he called that guy, all he would hear are lies.
Sounds like you didn't end on good terms with your previous landlord.
That's putting it nicely. Look, my hours got cut for a while, so I fell behind on rent. I mean, I was trying to make it up, but then I got this notice that says I gotta leave. He tells me I'm getting evicted. He wouldn't work with me at all. So now it's been impossible for me to find a place. I've been trying for months. I mean, he's such a jerk.
You're still very angry with him.
Yeah, I'm mad he did this to my son.
Taking care of your family is what's most important to you. And finding housing is part of that goal.
Exactly.
I guess my concern is the way you're talking about the eviction and about your previous landlord could cause other landlords to reject your application.
You telling me no one's gonna rent to me? What the hell am I supposed to do?
Remember how we talked about focusing on the positive?
Yeah? What about it?
When describing your situation, you could start out by talking about what you have to offer. In other words, highlight your strengths.
Like what?
In my conversation with Larry, he mentioned you were clean and presentable.
He really said that?
He did. What other personal strengths do you have that would interest a landlord?
I take good care of things. Hopefully they would see that by the way I dress.
Absolutely. Do you usually get your damage deposits back?
Yes. Yes, I pride myself on leaving the apartment in the same or better condition than when I moved in.
Great. That would be a good thing to mention. What else? How would you talk about the eviction in a way that would be more easily heard by a landlord?
I mean, that's a tough one. I guess I could tell him I'm a hard worker. I mean, when my hours got cut, I picked up a second job to pay the bills. If I hadn't have been so behind on my rent, I probably wouldn't have been evicted.
That's a great way of explaining it, Alex. What else?
I'm looking for a place that better fits my budget. That last place was too expensive.
So you're demonstrating that you're making a change to avoid a similar situation. That's good. Do you feel comfortable sharing that information in a brief and professional way?
Sure. I mean, I guess keep it positive, right?
Exactly. You could also mention that you're working with us. A landlord might feel better knowing that you have support. Which reminds me, do you have a couple minutes to go over some resources we have in our community for younger families like yours?
Yeah. This is a really nice apartment. I really like the play area. I think my son and I could be really happy here.
Well, thank you. If you're interested, I just need you to fill out this application.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. But first, I should let you know I have an eviction on my record.
Oh, that might be a problem.
I know. It was my fault. I should have let the landlord know when the hours got cut at work. By the time I could pick up a second job, I had fallen too far behind on rent to make up the difference. Because of that, though, I've decided to look for a smaller, more affordable place this time.
Well, that sounds like a good idea.
I want you to know that I am really good at taking care of my stuff and my place. I mean, I consistently get the damage deposits back from my landlords.
Well, that's good. Do you owe any rent to any of your previous landlords?
Nope, I have no previous debt. I mean, I made arrangements with the landlord to pay off the late fees and the back due rent, and I've been working with Volunteers of America. I'm doing everything I can to be responsible for myself and my son.
Well, then let's go ahead and fill out the paperwork. I think we might be able to work something out.